Finally, we are back. Season 7 is finally here. It has taken forever for them to come back on the air. They usually announce in like January when the season premiere is going to be. It usually is the end of January. But this year it's March, which is very unusual. But we all surmise that it's because Michelle Visage was on Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. So that's more than likely the reason why. I've actually seen both of the 2 episodes that were leaked online, so I already know this video is probably going to hit before the actual episode airs tonight on Logo. Now normally, because I don't get Logo in my new place now, so I actually have to watch it online, so it actually benefits me to watch 2 episodes ahead of time so that I can get the reviews up more quickly. It's going to be more of a word salad type situation this year. I'm not going to sit and do the graphics. If you see graphics up here, it means I actually had the time to go through the photo editing software. If not, forget about it. I'm not going to do it for a few weeks. I'm going to be moving to a new place soon, so hopefully there I can get my green screen studio set up and everything, and I'll be able to do more videos. This is going to be more of just a word salad type situation with the first episode, so bear with me. Jasmine Masters is actually my favorite one right now, and sad to say, well, I'm not going to spoil anything. If she would last halfway through the season, she would be Miss Congeniality, because I really like her. I watch her videos on YouTube, and you know, she's just great. Now this first challenge, as you saw, the runway challenge where she tried to do the cocoon thing and tried to escape and be a beautiful butterfly, it was a nude challenge, so therefore I'm not so sure that you needed to go with the whole idea of being a cocoon and a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. I don't think that was necessary. She should have just had some like pull away dress and done the whole 9 yards, but she didn't. So that, and there's a reason why we saw. I mean, seems like a great person, got a great backstory, but a great backstory is not going to win you the crown. So she's more mainly was just filler, so she kind of filled that role that Kelly Mantle played last year, and in, out, 1 episode. But yeah, Jasmine Masters, other than the critique of her runway, I'm not going to be able to say anything negative about her all year. She's just really, really nice. I really like her. And Tempest DuJour seems like she would be a great person outside of Drag Race, but was kind of flat in this first episode. Tempest was the oldest one. And we all know that ageism exists, especially in the gay community. I mean, it's really bad. Once you hit 30, you're old. Once you hit 35, you're ancient. And the only reason why RuPaul is as respected as she is because her name is on the show. So, but older queens tend to get dismissed pretty early on this show. Now, Trixie Mattel. Honestly, going in, I thought Trixie Mattel would be in the top on the show and would probably go quite far, might even make it to the end. That was my theory going into this. The makeup tends to look very Bianca Del Rio to me, which is a good thing because I love Bianca Del Rio. But I was not expecting Trixie to be as hot out of drag as Trixie is. Trixie also looks very familiar to me, and I don't know why that is, because I'm not from the same hometown or anything, so I'm not quite sure where this is coming from. I don't know. I know we are Facebook friends, but I don't know if I knew him like before on Facebook. Out of drag, I'm not sure, but there's this very familiar look to him. But I mean, Trixie's probably going to be one of my favorites all the way to the end. Now, Violet's drag just does nothing for me. But out of drag, that hair is fabulous. Give her a Vidal Sassoon commercial right now. Pantene. Give her a Pantene commercial and logo because that hair is amazing. But other than that, her personality, she's very bitchy. I was surprised by that. But thank God Santino Rice is gone. I don't see, this is definitely where it's out because my notes are like it starts out with the girls and then it goes to Santino and then it goes back to Ru and it's all over the place. Santino Rice was my least favorite judge on that show. And I think everyone is clapping and cheering. That could also be a reason why we're delayed until March. Because they may have had some type of contract thing going on with Santino that they had to work out. I'm not sure. I mean, Santino has just disappeared. I rarely ever see anything from him on Twitter. I mean, he's just fallen off the earth since that whole trans controversy last year on Drag Race. But yes. Pearl was one of my favorites going into the season. Obviously, I put her on my precast video, my predictions video back in August, so I kind of knew she was going to be on the show. Thought she would be in the top 3, and she might even be in the top 3. I'm not saying, I've heard rumors to the effect. WeHo Confidential claims that they have the elimination list, and so far they've done quite well. We'll just have to wait and see. They got some of the queens wrong, though, in their predictions, so don't know where that factors into this whole thing. But they predict that Pearl will make the top 3. Now, I can see Pearl making top 3, but Pearl is just... not so much in the first episode. You'll see in the second episode. Pearl is like every guy I've ever dated. Very dry, humorless, just kind of unhappy with the world, it seems. I mean, it's very surprising you made it on RuPaul's Drag Race, and you should be happy that you're there. But she just seems like she just cannot be bothered by all this. She complains, she's very, she rarely smiles. She doesn't seem like she's having a good time. Miss Fame is also very surprising. You'll see this more on the second episode than on the first one. I thought Miss Fame would definitely be top 2 all the way through this season. And she probably will. I mean, she's the most well-known of the queens definitely going in. But man, she's not prepared. Girl, get it together. You are just not prepared. She can't act. Can't really dance. As you'll see in the second episode. But God, I mean, she's beautiful, but good Lord, and beautiful out of drag too, by the way. Very beautiful out of drag. But man, just cannot get it together. But I think they may be editing it that way to kind of make you think that she's not going to run the gauntlet and go all the way to the end. Because she probably will. That first mini challenge threw me off because it wasn't like the blow dryer challenge. That comes in episode 2, by the way. But yeah, I was completely unprepared for a runway right out the gate. And it actually was pretty cool that these girls were able to show their talent right away. You got to see the new judges, Carson and Ross Matthews. And Ross Matthews, I'm sorry, is... Why do you have to add 2 judges to replace Santino? That makes no sense. You could put a puppy on there and it would replace Santino. Santino wasn't so big of a personality that you had to add 2 to replace him. I'm sorry. No. Ross Matthews would not have been my first choice. I'm sorry. Would have been really awesome for Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton on there with Michelle Visage. That would have been hilarious. But man, oh man, where the hell am I at? Okay, the Runway Challenge, Alaska. Sitting in on that Runway Challenge was the most bizarre, awkward thing I think I've ever seen on this show. Not sure why they decided to do that. Then there is the issue with Sasha, Katya, and Kasha. Honestly, can't remember right now, sitting here, having watched two episodes, I can't remember a damn thing about any of those three. Except that Sasha or Kasha, whoever is the one from Iowa that trained for this shit and thinks that she is ready for this show, when she's clearly not. That's the only one I kind of remember. And it's kind of because, who's the buzzkill? That's the only reason why I remember. But Sasha, Kasha, and Katya, not going to remember any of those three the rest of the year, I'm sure. So, pardon me if I get them all butchered up. The only thing I remember about Katya is she's that Russian chick. Well, trying to play a Russian chick. You don't play a Russian chick. Not with the way the world is right now. Because you remind me of Vladimir Putin every time you go into that fake Russian accent. And I hate Vladimir Putin. If I could go over to Russia right now and throat punch that bastard, I would. Just saying. Don't want to be reminded of Vladimir Putin, so don't do the whole Eastern European Russian accent thing. Max, who almost made my casting video back in August, because I did read a lot about Max being on the show, but kind of dismissed it because I didn't think Ru would go back to that androgyny like she did with Milk, because Michelle Visage just hated it so much. Well, she didn't hate it. She actually praised Milk last year, which was kind of odd, but yet she would, like, thrash Alaska for looking like boy drag. There's double standards here on this show, left and right. But Max. I liked Max, and I was surprised that I liked Max. Max ended up being less boy than Violet, which is surprising. Oh man, oh man, oh man. And Candy Ho. I found it interesting that Candy Ho had perfect English except for when she was in the workroom talking to Ru about what she was going to do on the runway, and she kept saying, "Oh, that's right on my alley." And that's going to be a catchphrase for her throughout the season, because she does it on the second episode too, by the way. She says, "Oh, that's right on my alley." So not on your alley, it's up your alley. But yeah, this first episode was kind of underwhelming for me overall. I mean, I love some of these queens. Ginger was a very big surprise too. Ginger being a fellow Floridian, I naturally was going to hope that she did well, and she really surprised me. And you'll see why in episode 2. She does a really good job. I really liked her. But yeah, I can't say much about the episode 2, and that's the one that has more of the action and the drama. So it's kind of sad that wasn't put in on the first episode. I really wish they would have done this year what they did last year, where they split them up and introduced them at different times, so you get to know the queens more. I really like that. But I mean, how much do you really want to know about Katya, Kasha, and Sasha? I don't want to know anything. I'm sorry. Alright, well that's the first episode that I've gotten reviewed. I've got so much to do. I gotta get off here. Run this through to YouTube, go back, edit. I may or may not put the graphics. Like I said, if you don't see the graphics, then that means I either was not able to do it or I was really lazy today. One or the other. I don't know. But anyway, that was episode 1. I will see you guys next week.